most important thing I noticed in the video was these two rooms that have these strange tally marks written on the wall. The first room was a baby plush room where it was a very small room and all these baby and scrap baby plushes appear and then seemingly disappear into thin air. The next room was in Bonnie's green room where the markings are only found in the AR world. These tally marks appear to be some type of code that the game wants us to decipher, and as Matt tried many different theories along with the help of his subreddit, our best minds could not solve it. So to tackle this, I think we actually all need to take a step back. I believe that in order to know what these codes say, what these markings say, we need to understand who wrote it. And in order to know who, we must go back to Security Breach. Yes, the Burn Trap ending has been confirmed to be non-canon, which I did call over a year and a half ago before Ruin ever came out, which you guys could check in this video here or linked in the comments below. And now for the last canon ending, I just want to go. But we need to access a special area. That area is the sub-basement level underneath the Mega Pizzaplex. And this is the only way to access it. In addition, we know that this area is confirmed to be canon. Let's recall that when you choose this ending, you don't just magically appear there, you have to walk in these caves and through the sub-basement levels. But there are two special things that we have to walk past: the Blob and the FNAF 6 Pizzeria. But for now, I just want to focus on the specific room in the sub-basement. When you enter there, on the right-hand side, you will see a bed, Vanny graffiti, and that's right, the tally marks themselves. But this doesn't help decode it. Well, yeah, duh. I haven't even gotten to the bigger reveal yet. Vanny now rises to the top of our list as the main suspect. And what I'm saying is that she is the one who wrote these markings on the wall. How do I know? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this requires us to look into something that seemingly everyone in the community has forgotten: the retro CDs. While all the retro CDs are important, of course, and I would argue that 6, 7, 14, 15, and 16 are the most important CDs out there, Game Theory's analysis of the baby plush room finally had all the pieces coming together for this one CD. Or should I say, the second CD. Notice those last few lines? You know, everyone associated with this company gets performance reviews. When my sessions don't get results, my reviews aren't very good. And if you don't want to talk for your own sake, how about for mine? You don't want me to get in trouble, do you? I could be put in a corner for a timeout. Yeah, you think that's funny, huh? Chair in a corner, a timeout, laughter. This seems way too coincidental, and when has anything ever been coincidence in Five Nights at Freddy? Literally like this. The one major difference here is that in the room, in Ruin, it's baby plushies that are laughing at you. In this CD, CD2, it is Patient 46, who is still not known to this day, who is laughing at you about the idea of being in a timeout, about just sitting in a corner and not being helpful. But don't you remember? Sitting in a corner, same markings. And that's not all CD2 does for us. We can also take the line that, one, everyone in this company gets performance reviews, which shows that Patient 46 works for the company. And lastly, let's look at the beginning of the audio. When the shades are pulled, it feels like we're in a cubby hole or cave, yeah? You know what else is in a cubby hole or a cave? Yeah, there's only one thing I could think of, and we just traveled through it, and we traveled through it at the end of the game in Ruin. The sub-basement area with the mimic, the Vanny graffiti, the same markings. And as I said before, the FNAF 6 Pizzeria, the Blob, and we know the Scooper is down there as well from one of the other endings in Ruin. And what's important about FNAF 6 and Sister Location? These are games where Baby is the major antagonist. And if you also want to argue that I'm using a non-canon ending, well, there are two canonized notes that will never change no matter how many times or what ending you get in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach: the power drain and the old elevator notes. Both of these notes have construction updates talking about how there are high voltage cables that disappear right into the foundation. There is definitely something underneath us, and we're going to go check it out. And then they also mention it again with the old elevator shaft. Where am I getting with this? Vanny is Baby, and also Baby is patient 46.
Admit you made that whole story up. No, you started that fight. You calling me a liar?
I ain't calling you a truther.
There are just too many coincidences, too many connections. We know patient 46, we know their past. It sounds made up. It sounds eerily like Elizabeth Afton's past. And if we look at CD6, we see the therapist say, the way you told the story is more like you were reading something from a book than you were talking about your own past. We also find out later from the fifth and final therapist in the final CD in CD16 that their entire past, patient 46 past, is a lie. What do we also know? How the Vanny mask works, how the AR land connections work in the Mega Pizzaplex, or possibly throughout the entire FNAF universe. The Vanny mask, it makes you undetectable to those not connected to the server. You are literally able to walk through walls or inaccessible, seemingly blocked areas. And you know what it also does? It explains CDs 14 and 15 why the technicians couldn't get a clear footage or understand what patient 46 was doing and where they went off to. Literally said by the therapist in CD 15, they are talking about an ink blob test, and then you know what they says? You think it's a mask. It reminds you of a mask like a disguise. Yeah, I can see that. You like the idea of being disguised. Disguises let you be sort of invisible, don't they? You could get away with almost anything when you're invisible, can't you? Yeah, you like that idea. What is the Vanny costume? It's not a costume, it's a Vanny mask. The mask is the most important thing, and the mask is what connects patient 46 to Vanny, which connects Vanny to Baby, and Baby to Vanny. It's literally a triangle, and they are all the pieces have finally come together. And that's not all. Let's look and think about Baby in general right now, right? We know she's cunning and manipulative. We know she's pretty handy with electronics as she rebuilt herself when she was kicked out of Molten Freddy /Ennard. And 4, she's unaccounted for until right now. Let's remember that in the blob, there are the faces of other animatronics in there, and they have red eyes, right? Fused together as a giant amalgamation. Well, guess what? Except for Baby and the puppet, their eyes are shut down. Baby is actively not in there. Where can she be? If Scrap Baby was destroyed, where is she? Because we know Michael Afton was supposed to, perish and be gone after FNAF 6, and we see him as Glamrock Freddy. So why can't Scrap Baby, why can't Elizabeth Afton and her soul and her remnant be there? Oh wait, it is, because she's in the Vanny mask. Her soul, her remnant is in there. And to top it all off, you know who voices Baby? Heather Masters, who is also the voice actor for Vanessa. So, how did she get there? Well, I think this is where FNAF VR2 is going to help us out, or help wanted to. Well, it's going to come into play. Scrap Baby is around. We know that. It's confirmed at the end of the trailer. And I feel like we're going to be getting that answer of how she's able to move from Scrap Baby to Vanny's mask. And overall, what does this mean? Why would Baby write these messages? What do they say? And where will this go? Well, only time will tell, my fellow FNAF colleagues. But if I did have to make a prediction, besides the FNAF VR2 thing, I would say this all but confirms Baby, aka Elizabeth Afton, is our elusive writer. And based on the location of these messages, I believe these are going to lead us to the details about Bonnie's demise. Baby is a whiz at rebuilding. Bonnie got scooped for parts. Who knows where the scooper is? Baby. Who possibly wants to make her father proud and do something with it? Well, Rabbit, Scooper, William Afton. These are just, things I'm just gonna say. And how do we know Bonnie was scooped? Well, I'm just gonna leave this picture right here. Alright guys, that's it for me. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you guys have any counterpoints, any counter theories, maybe more evidence, whatever side, let me know in the comment section below. Always love to hear and read more theories. And if you want to know more information about the retro CDs, I do have my old video link, but I could possibly do a redo with more updated information now that we have that. Other than that, hope Matt sees the video. I'll definitely be seeing it on GT Live if he does. And if he doesn't, well, shout outs to everybody in the FNAF community, and shout outs to my bro for helping me out. Peace.